Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube class. In this video we will see how do we add two arrays, that is the corresponding elements of the array, and store the answer in the new array. Suppose this is the array given A 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, B is 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. What we want to do is we want to add the corresponding array elements. Now what is 10 plus 60? It is 70, and we want to store in another array, that is the resultant array. Now we will add 20 and 70, which is 90, 30 and 80, which is 110, 40 and 90, which is 130, and 150 is 150. This is how we want to add the corresponding elements of the array. Now we can observe one thing over here. What we write at C of 0? C is resultant. What we write at C of 0? It is A of 0 plus B of 0. It is A of 0 plus B of 0. What we write at C of 1? We write at C of 1, that is A of 1 plus B of 1. In general, what shall I write at C of I? What shall I write at C of I? You will write A of I plus B of I. In general, you write C of I is equal A of I plus B of I. But I want you to store the answer in the new array. Now what is the input for this question? Input for this question is array A of n array elements. Next you need array B, and array B should also be of n array elements. That means the size of array A should be equal to size of array B. Now say for example, if the array B, size of array B is 6, can we add the corresponding element over here? No, it is not possible. Therefore, the size of array A should be equal to the size of array B. And what will be the answer, final answer? It will be stored in array C. And how many array elements will be there? There will be n array elements. Is that okay? I hope you have understood what is the logic behind it. C of I is A of I plus B of I. That means you want to add the corresponding array elements. Please pause the video over here and try to write down the code yourself. Thank you. Let us now see how do we write the code for it. You say hash include stdio.h and so on. Let me start with the main. Now, what is the input for this question? The input for this question is two arrays. Now, let us declare two arrays, and I say int A of 100, comma B of 100. Now, there are two arrays, both of size 100, and that is the input for this question. Now, this is the main scope, and in main scope you have two arrays. This is A, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on up to 99. Let the base address of this be say 1000. We have one more array, that is B, and what is B? 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on up to 99. Let the address of this be say 2000. Now we know that if we want to add two arrays, the size of both the arrays should be exactly same. Now let the size of both the arrays be say n. Let it be say n. Now we want to read the value of n, hence we write scanf %d ampersand n, and let the value of n be say 4. That means so 4 array elements we want to read, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. And how do we read the array? We call the function read array, and which array we want to read it? Array A. And how many array elements we want to read it? N array elements. Now in another video I have explained you how do you read multiple arrays using the functions. Please watch that video before watching this program, and the link I have given in the description section. Now say for example the value of n is 4, and I read here 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now this is the read array A. Now similarly you want to read the array B. We call again the function read array. Which array we want to read it? Array B. And how many array elements are there? There are n array elements, and suppose I read it here 50, 60, 70 and 80. That will be stored at the corresponding location. Now after you read array A and array B, what we need to do? We need to add these two arrays. Therefore, let me write one function called as add array. Let me write one function called as add array. Which arrays I want to add? I want to add array A with array B And how many array elements are there? N array elements are there, because the size of array A and array B is same. I will pass only this particular thing. Now, how do I write the prototype and the function definition? See here, the return type of the function, let it be void, and if necessary we will change it. What is the function name? The function name is add array. What is the first parameter? A. A means integer one dimensional array. What is the second parameter? B. Again it is integer one dimensional array. And what is the last parameter? N, the number of array elements, and it is the number of array elements. Now what happens whenever you call the function? The scope of the function gets activated. Now this is add array function. There are three parameters. What are the three parameters? The first parameter is A, the second parameter is B, and the last parameter is N. Now what will happen whenever you call the function? Whenever you pass the arrays to the function, the base address gets passed. Now what is the base address of A? It is 1000. What is the base address of B? It is 2000. And what is the value of N? The value of N is 4. Is that okay? Now we know that how to add the corresponding array elements. Therefore, let me write over here for the value of I starts from 0, declare a variable I here. I less than the value N, I plus plus, and what you do, you add the corresponding elements A of I plus B of I. Now what is A of I? Needless to say, A of I is equal to star A plus I, and the compiler converts into star A plus I into D. And what is B of I? Is equal to star B plus I into D. Now what is the value of A? 1000. 1000 plus 0 into 4, you know that how it works. Now A of I is 10, B of I is 50, 10 plus 50 is 60, and I said store in some array. Therefore, let me say the resultant array as C, and I say C of I is equal A of I plus B of I. Now say me one thing, is there any variable called as C in add array function? There is no variable called as C in add array function. Therefore, it becomes essential for us to declare int C of 100. It becomes essential for us to declare int C of 100. Now this is array C of 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on up to 99, and which function we have? This is there in the add array function, and let the address of this be say 3000. Now what will happen? C of I is nothing but star C plus I. Needless to say again, C of I is nothing but star C plus I. Compiler internally converts to star C plus I into D, and what is the value of C? It is 3000 plus 0 into 4 is 3000. That means go to address 3000 and store 60. Is that okay? I plus plus I is 1, A of 1 is 20, B of 1 is 60, 20 plus 60 is 80, and you store at C of 1. I plus plus 2, what you will store? 100. I plus plus 3, what you will store? 120. I plus plus 4, 4 less than 4 is false. You come out of this loop. Now after I come out of this loop, say for example, I close the function. Now the closing bracket of the function is taken as return. That means this scope gets deactivated and you come back to main. Now when you come back to main, do you see any array C over here? There is no array C. There is no array C because the return type is void. There is no array C. Now if there is no answer, what shall I display? Therefore, display the answer in the add array function only. And how do we display the answer? We call the function display array. Now which array we want to display it? Array C. And how many array elements are there? There are n array elements. C means 3000 will be passed to the display array function, and it will display C of 0 is nothing but star 3000 plus 0 into D is 3000, and so on. Please watch the previous video that I have posted how to read and display the multiple files. Now after you display 60, 80, 100 and 120, closing bracket of the function is taken as return. You come back to main, you know that the answer is displayed. Therefore we stop the procedure here and I can say return 0. Now return 0 means this scope also gets deactivated, and you see that the addition of the two arrays is being done. But what we are doing here? We are printing the answer in the add array function only. Are you getting it? I may need to print the answer in main. Now how to do that we will see in couple of moments. But please pause the video over here and make the appropriate notes. Thank you. Let us see how do we print the answer back in main. Now we have declared two arrays, int a of 100 and b of 100. Let the value of n be say 4. You read the array, let the array be say 10, 20, 30, 40 and let it be say 50, 60, 70, 80. Now I want to store the answer in main and still I want to write the modular C program. Now how it is possible? Let us write one function called as add array. Let us write one function called as add array. Okay, let me write here add array. Which are the two arrays I want to add? A, B, and how many array elements are there? There are n array elements. And where do I want to store the answer? I want to store the answer in C. Now what is C? C is an array. You are saying that you compute these two and store the answer in C. And we know that the arrays are passed by reference. Now how does it work? Let me say, let us declare one more array called as int C of 100. Now what will happen? Another array will be created. What is the array name? C. The indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on up to 99. Let the address of this be say 3000. Now how do I write the function definition? I say void. What is the function name? Add array. What is the first parameter? A. A is nothing but what? Integer one dimensional array. The second parameter is what? B. Again it is integer one dimensional array. The third parameter is n, integer n. And the last parameter is C. It is again integer one dimensional array. Now what we mean? We mean that add the values of A and B of n array elements and store the answer in C. Now how does it work? See here. Whenever you call the function, the scope of the function gets activated. Now this is the add array function. There are four parameters. One is A, the other one is B, next is n, and the last parameter is C. Whenever you call the function, the scope of the function gets activated, and whenever you call the array, what will happen? The base address gets passed. Now what is the base address? A. What is the base address of A? 1000. 1000 will be copied here. Next is B is copied to B. What is the base address of B? 2000 is copied here. What is the value of n? The value of n we have taken it to be 4. Next C is copied to C, and what is the value of C? The value of C is 3000. The value of C is 3000. Is that okay? Now how do we add the corresponding array elements? You declare a variable I. I say for I is equal 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and what did I write the logic? C of I is equal to A of I plus B of I plus B of I. Now is there any variable C? Yes, there is a variable C and it's an address. That means it's an array. A is an array and B is an array. Now what does it will do? C of I is nothing but star C plus I. Directly I can write it as C plus I into D. This is what the compiler converts. Is equal to star A plus I into D plus star B plus I into D. B plus I into D. Now say me, what is the value of C? The value of C is 3000 plus I into 4 is equal to star 1000 plus I into 4 plus star 2000 plus I into 4, because the value of B is 2000, A is 1000. Now initially the value of I is 0. I can replace with 0, 0 and 0. What does it becomes? It becomes star 3000 is equal to star 1000 plus star 2000. Now evaluate RHS first. Now what is star 1000? It is 10. What is star 2000? It is 50. 10 plus 50 is 60. And we are saying star 3000 is equal to 60. What does it mean? It means go to address 3000 and store 60. This is address 3000 and you are storing 60. Similarly, I plus plus, the value of I will become 1. It means 3000 plus 1 into 4 is equal to 1000 plus 1 into 4 plus 2000 plus 1 into 4. Now it becomes star 3004 is equal to star 1004 plus star 2004. Now what is star 1004? It is 20. What is star 2004? It is 60. 20 plus 60 is 80. Now you want to store 80 at address 3004. Now this is address 3004, you store 80. Similarly, I plus plus 2, you store 100. I plus plus 3, you store 120. Now you come out of this loop, closing bracket of the function is taken as return, the scope dies. Now you come back to main. Now when you come back to main, you know that there is an array C where the answer is stored. Are you getting it? That means if you want to store the answer, you can pass a complete array and you can say to the called function, boss, store the answer in the passed array. Hence, what I can write over here? I can say here display array. Which array I want to display? Array C. And how many array elements are there? There are n array elements. Now I am displaying the array C. 60, 80, 100, 120 will be displayed. Yes, and I can write here return 0 and the closing bracket of the function is taken as return. This is how I can pass the complete array to the function and say store the answer in the array. Any modification done in the called function will be reflected back in the calling function. Therefore, it works. I hope you have understood this. Thank you friends for watching this video, and in the next video we will solve some other problems. Please pause the video over here and make the appropriate notes.